This is the Padres Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Diego Padres. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, Padre fan? Welcome to your Padres Postcast on a football Sunday and a busy one. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Gries. Baseball season winding down. The Padres going to make the playoffs. You know they are, and you've always known they are, at least over the last month or so. But today they took one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. Yeah, they did. One step closer. 3-2 win over the White Sox in Chi-Town. Wasn't an easy series. They only took 2 out of 3 against one of baseball's worst teams, one of baseball's historically worst teams over the past couple of years, but the Padres getting it done. Big win today, regardless of what the score was, regardless of how they did it. They take 2 out of 3, and most importantly, some things happened in today's game that get you juiced up. Some things happened in today's game that make you think they could be ready to start playing their best baseball of the season right now. This is Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I am Jim Grieshaber. Call me Gries, Gries, at Jim Gries _ on social media. We're free, live after the games on YouTube. Then after that show, we upload, you download. Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, and Roku. You download OPP, no OTT, baby. Yeah, we are. And don't forget, Javier Reyes, Locked On Padres Podcast. The ups, the downs, the ins, the outs, the day-by-day of your Padres. This is the postcast, though. 3-2 the win, and some huge things happening in this game. What do you say we unpack it? What do you say we dig deep, roll up the sleeves, and let's go, Padre fan? It's the postcast. I'm Gries. Let's roll.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Yes, we are. What a win. That's what we're talking about. A big win for the Padres. Fernando Tatis Jr., this is a big part of the game today. Fernando with a couple of more hits. Fernando, home run number 23. Fernando, career home run number 150. And most importantly, Fernando, even though it made it 3-0 at the time, the game-winning home run, the game-winning RBI, all these things as we get ready for a launch into the postseason where you know they're not going to let the Stars beat you. They're not going to let the Stars slash and burn you. And when those situations come and they have to pitch to them, they will. But they're not going to let Tati and they're not going to let Manny beat them in the playoffs if they can help it. So they're going to have to hit the mistakes when they get them. That's what Fernando did in that scenario today in the third inning. They got 2 in the second, 1 in the third. The White Sox, man, they made it tough down the stretch and late in the game. And some tough times for the Padres this afternoon. The bullpen coming through again. But maybe the most important part, because Adrian Morejon came into a big-time jam and pitched his way out of it. Wait till I tell you how that happened if you don't know yet. Yeah, Mason Miller came into a real tough spot. Heart attack? You're giving me a heart attack. Couple of good outings in a row for Kyle Hart today. That came to an end. He almost blew the whole thing, but, man, Miller came in and walked 2 guys with the bases loaded. That's how they got their 2 runs, but those were Hart's runs. And Miller was able to buckle down, get out of the jam. Morejon was fantastic. Susrez got save number 40, but I saved the best for last. And what I mean by best is the story. What I mean by best is the one guy who can pitch you through this postseason, start 2 games in a series, give you 2 dubs. That's half of the 4 that you need to win. You know what I'm saying? So there you have it. And in the wild card round, it's 3. He'll give you 1. So my point is in 2 out of 3. So when Michael King takes the mound today in Chicago, you're breathing a little heavy. When Michael King takes the mound today in Chicago, you're almost having a heart attack because he was not good his last couple of times out. He was put on the IL in May with the shoulder, came back 1 game against the Red Sox, and he did not look good, and then went right back on the IL with the knee and came back 2 starts later. Home runs like crazy. Didn't happen today, so good job by King. The walks are still concerning you. The location's still not great. But Michael King with guts, Michael King with heart, Michael King pitching his way out of a couple of tough jams early in this game today. And when you look at what happened early in the game, Michael King, man, 5 scoreless innings, 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, 4 walks. He made it a carnival ride in the first inning. A hit by pitch and a walk. First and second, nobody out in the bottom of the first. And you're thinking, oh, no, this is the last thing we need. As bad as the starting pitching has been, we need someone to step up and give us a great outing, not a good one. And today wasn't a great one, but it looked great by comparison with what's been going on lately. First inning, hit by pitch and a walk. He gets a strikeout looking and then a double play to get out of it. Second inning, a walk and a single. And, yeah, strikeout, a pop out, and a fly ball. He gets out of those first 2 innings unscathed. Nary a run scores on him, and that was really big for Michael King. Settled down after that and didn't really run into trouble again until later in the game. So it is interesting when you think about that, because Michael King early pitched out of the trouble. And that's something that the Padres starters have not been doing lately at all, or had not been doing until Diggy Down with the King did it today, Michael King. So when I look at Michael King's outing today and I look at those 5 innings, I think about the 6th, because they ran him out there for the 6th. Schulte did, and I'd have done the same, because he had settled into a groove. Things were popping, pimping for Michael King, and I'll get to the offense in a minute for the Pods if you're wondering. I'm not going in chronological order. I'm going by order of importance to the game. Michael, Diggy Down with the King, starts the 6th inning with a 3-0 lead, and we'll get to the runs in a minute and how they scored, but he gives up a single to Montgomery. He gives up a single to Vargas and a walk to Crero, and Yo Quiero, no nothing. So Meade hits for Baldwin, and Schulte comes out. Give me the lefty. And as he has all season long, the all-star, Adrian Morejon, who might be the most valuable member and probably is the most valuable member of the Padres bullpen all season long. He comes into the game, bases loaded, nobody out. Everything on the line. Playoffs, wild card, division. Dodgers lost today. Cubs lost today. They got swept by the Reds. The Mets lost today too, and the Reds are tied with the Mets in the wild card. And it's crazy. Down the stretch they come, right? So Morejon comes in, bases loaded, nobody out. Crowd going crazy. All 4 of them in the building in Chicago. Meade strikes out swinging. Sosa pops out to first. Let me tell you something. Sosa, Scarface. You know what I'm saying? And then Taylor strikes out looking on a beautiful curveball that just came right over the inside corner. He's frozen stiff, was looking outside. Beautiful pitch by Morejon. What a job he does. Bases loaded, nobody out. Strikeout, pop-up, strikeout. Come on. You cannot do any better than what Morejon did. Then the Padres in the top of the 7th, they almost got it popping again too. But, man, O'Hearn singles and Tatis singles with 2 outs, and they were unable to score again. But the White Sox in the bottom of the 7th against Kyle Hart, this is where things got really hairy for the Padres. Fletcher doubles, and they get a walk. Teal strikes out swinging. Kyle Hart got him, and then Montgomery walks. So, again, bases loaded, 1 out now. Kyle Hart leaves you in a jam. What do? Give me the righty. Mason Miller, been on fire lately. Not so much with the command today. He walks Vargas. The run scores. It's 3-1. It's charged to Hart. Then Quiero. Yo quiero. Sit your butto on the bencho. Goodbye, right? And he strikes out. Benintendi hits for Meade. Benintendi walks with the bases loaded. It's 3-2. Everything getting tight. Everything on the line. And then he gets Sosa to ground to third. Inning over. It's still 3-2. You got the lead. And then what do? Miller didn't have his command. Worked hard to get out of that inning. He trusts Wandy Peralta. And Wandy Peralta in the bottom of the 8th inning, strikeout, walk, double play, bang. Everybody pumped in Padre land. And then in the 9th inning, the Padres couldn't score. Sheets strikes out. O'Hearn reaches on an infield single. Cronenworth safe on an error, but then Wagner and Tatis. Wagner flies out. Fernando strikes out swinging. Then it's the bottom of the 9th. It's the carnival ride known as Robert Suarez. But he ends up with save number 40. Strikeout, ground out, strikeout. 2 strikeouts in the 9th for Suarez. Great job by the Padres to hold on. It was all about the bullpen. All about the bullpen today. Big surprise, right? But Michael King finally giving you that big start you've been wanting from one of the guys in the rotation. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you. That's what it's been. You know what I'm saying? So then the Padres squeak out of there with a 3-2 win. And as a result, the Milwaukee Brewers, by the way, clinched their division today, the Central in the National League. Brew Crew coming to town tomorrow. And guess what, Padre fan? Guess what can happen? I'm going to tell you in a minute. On the other side of the break, you're going to have to hang out for that to find out what can happen tomorrow. And you won't want to miss tomorrow's game or tomorrow's show. I'm going to give you that in a minute. But real quick, the Padres offensively, Luis Arraez got a hit today, extends the hit streak to 10. Fernando with the homer, number 150 in his career, number 23 on the season. But they scored 2 runs in the 2nd inning as well. Jackson Merrill with a single. Laureano strikes out. Sheets with a single. And then with runners on, Merrill goes to third. First to third, by the way, on the single. And then Merrill scored on an error. They tried to pick off Sheets at first. They threw it down the right field line. Merrill scores. Sheets goes to second, right? O'Hearn strikes out, 2 away. Big 2-out hit by Jake Cronenworth to drive in that second run. Huge spot for Jake. Drives in Sheets with 2 outs. Those 2-out RBIs are huge in a 1-run game. Fernando may have hit the homer that gave him the 3-0 lead, and that was the game-winning run ultimately, but doesn't get there without Jake's big 2-out RBI. And then Merrill running the bases like a madman. Merrill the madman on the bases. All right, Jim Grieshaber, call me Gries. This is your Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. 3-2 Pods. Guess what can happen tomorrow at Petco? I'm going to tell you on the other side. I'm also going to do the turning point. Also going to give you the star of the game. We got some candidates today, do we not? And we are going to get you ready for the biggest series of the season, followed by another biggest series of the season, because guess what? The Brewers are fighting the Phillies still for home field, and they haven't clinched that yet, the number 1 seed, and the Diamondbacks are still in it. We give you a playoff bracket update right here on your Padres Postcast. Jim Grieshaber, call me Gries on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, 3-2, the final in Chicago. Oh, man, and I get to tell you about some companies that love doing business with you because you are here and you are loyal. You everydayers especially, you know what it is. And if you're looking, I'm telling you, every time I got the hookup. Holla if you hear me. This episode is brought to you by Zippix Toothpicks. 2 P's for Zippix. Zippix. Whether you're looking for nicotine satisfaction or an energy boost, like coming out of your skin like me, Zippix has you covered with their nicotine and caffeine-infused toothpicks. For nicotine users, Zippix provides a discreet way, right, to satisfy cravings. No smoke, no pouches in your mouth, right? You get the hand-to-mouth habit without vaping, without smoking. You're sitting in a restaurant, people think you're just picking your teeth. Zippix 2 Ps can be a helpful tool as you work to reduce your dependence on vaping as well. It's 6 great flavors, 2 milligrams, 3 milligrams nicotine options. If you need energy without the crash, their caffeine toothpicks are a game changer as well. So the taste, the energy, no jitters, you know what I'm saying? Peppermint, watermelon, ice, and flavors like that. It really tastes great. So go to zippixtoothpicks.com, Zippix, zippixtoothpicks.com. Use the code LOCKEDON for 10% off your first order. Must be 21 or older to order. Warning, nicotine is an addictive chemical. At zippixtoothpicks.com, promo code LOCKEDON. Zip more, smoke less with Zippix Toothpicks on a Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And next up, let's see what's next on the menu. Dun, 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 dun. Today's show is also brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Caffeine just got a flavor upgrade. 5 Hour Energy shots deliver tasty caffeine in 17 bold flavors. Each 2-ounce shot packing the caffeine of a premium 12-ounce cup of coffee right there in that tiny little thing. Easy to carry around. It's got the B vitamins, got the nutrients as well. 0 sugar, 0 crashes. What I love the most is how portable they are. Big taste, tiny shot. Take it anywhere. Get the boost you need when you need it. I love all the flavors. They're all so good. They just give you that instant boost. I love that they're sugar-free. And I love that shows like this, days like this, all kinds of things that have been happening. We are absolutely needing that energy, and we get it from 5 Hour Energy. I love how fast it kicks in, sugar-free, so I don't have to worry about crashing later. Enough with boring, flavorless caffeine. It's time to give your caffeine a flavor upgrade with 5 Hour Energy shots. Get the favorites you love or be bold and try something new in store and online at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon today. And one more for you. This one's a public service announcement from your boy Gries. Most people cannot name their financial accounts or even what they're worth, right? Kind of scary, whether it's 401ks, whether it's properties, whether it's investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's why there's Monarch Money. I love Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. Monarch is built for people with busy lives. If you've put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. It does the heavy lifting for you. You can do all kinds of things like clear data visuals. You can look at all your accounts in minutes. You can get smart categorization of your spending, which I love, and finally feel in control of your dinero. That's money without ever touching a spreadsheet, right? You can identify that you're not saving as much as you thought. You're like, oh, I got to put more in my 401k. You can maximize investments, increase your savings rate, easily review finances with a partner. Could be a spouse, could be a business partner, could be whomever, a financial professional who's working on your stuff. They can all, and you together can have a clear view of your financial health week to week, long term, all the above with Monarch Money. So don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks now. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with the code LOCKEDONMLB on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team, yours every day. We got some comments in the live YouTube. Got to love it. Big Papa Smash. How we feeling for playoffs? Cubs best route would be Cubs, then Brewers. I'm not going to argue with you, Big Papa Smash. Even going into Chicago against the Cubs. And by the way, the Padres have the tiebreaker against the Cubs. And I'm going to get into all the playoff scenarios in just a moment, including what a big day it can be tomorrow at Petco. The cat should be out of the bag by now, right? Maybe, maybe not. But we shall see. All right, real quick, couple of things to do. Short time to do them in. First things first, I Gries, bring you.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Oh, the turning point. Today's turning point's an easy one. Today's turning point comes to you right away, man. Today's turning point, it's easy today in this one. The bottom of the 7th inning, Kyle Hart gives up a double, a walk, gets a strikeout, and another walk. Bases loaded, one away for Mason Miller. Mason Miller comes in, walks 2 runs in, and gets out of it at 3-2. But there's no way they would even have gotten there without Adrian Morejon. Without a doubt, the biggest moment of this game, Adrian Morejon, bases loaded, no outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. He comes in the game, strikeout, pop out, strikeout. Adrian Morejon with a brilliant performance, which brings me to...
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Adrian Morejon, hello, bases loaded, nobody out, strikeout, pop out, strikeout. That's the game right there. Even Miller, I give Miller some props for battling back and making it happen. You know, Jake with the big 2-out hit. Jackson Merrill had a good game. Fernando, the homer. But forget about it, man. It was all about, look, King was good today, not great. It was Adrian Morejon. Suarez pitched a great 9th for his 40th save, but Adrian Morejon is your star of the game. All right, what do you say we take a peek? Before we bounce like Mickey Mouse, we are going to look at the playoff picture real quick for you. One time for your mind, because we talked about the Cubs yesterday, and the Cubs just got swept by the Reds. They lost to Cincinnati. Again, the Mets lost to the Nationals, and the Dodgers lost to the Giants. So keep all that in mind right now, okay? Right now, keep all that in mind, again, because we are absolutely going to tie all that in. Again, Dodgers, Cubs, Mets, all lost. Reds beat the Cubs. Keep all that right there on the top of the dome, because in the National League West, 2 series remaining, right? You got the Brewers coming in tomorrow. You got the Diamondbacks coming in after that, and you are possibly, I mean, look, it's not out of the realm of possibility, but it's definitely, not likely. You are 3 games behind the Dodgers with 6 games remaining, and you don't have the tie break, so it's more like 4, but within the realm of possibility, right? And when you think about where the Dodgers are right now and what they've been like this year and how up and down they've been, I mean, I don't see why you couldn't get something done there. So looking at the Dodgers right now, they play at Arizona and at Seattle, 2 very good teams. You got Milwaukee and Arizona, 2 very good teams. You know what I'm saying? So the cream puff parts of the schedule are gone for the Dodgers and for the Padres. The Cubs, they play the Mets. Everything on the line for those teams. The Cubs already clinched the playoffs, so they're going to play in the playoffs regardless, and it's going to be Cubs-Padres, I believe. But then they play the Cardinals, right? And so, interestingly enough, you could probably catch the Cubs too, because when I'm looking at the standings, and again, the Dodgers 3-game lead, 6 games left, they play the Diamondbacks and the Mariners. Obviously, the Padres play the Brewers and the Diamondbacks. Then when you look at the wild card, the Cubs still have a 3-game lead on San Diego with 6 games left. But again, they play the Mets and they play the Cardinals, and the Cardinals are 4 games under 500, in case you're wondering. As far as that last wild card spot, the Padres, they have a 5-game lead over the Cincinnati Reds, over the New York Mets, who are tied, okay? And then the Diamondbacks are a game behind. Giants 3 behind with 6 left, Cardinals 4. But Diamondbacks a game behind the Reds and Mets. That last wild card spot's going to be fun. Padres aren't slipping down. They will tomorrow with a victory at Petco. I've been teasing this the whole show. You know what I'm saying? I've been pulling this apart, just one little thread at a time to get you ready for the grand finale, which is if the Padres win tomorrow at Petco, and I think Pivetta is going to be on the mound at 13-5 with a 2.74 ERA, their best pitcher all season. I think Nick Pivetta is going to be on the mound against Freddy Peralta for the Brewers. And what can happen tomorrow? Tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, sold out Petco is going to be rocking. Gas lamp's going to be going bananas. Why? With a win tomorrow, your San Diego Padres clinch a playoff berth. Last year and this year, B2B, baby. A win tomorrow, they clinch a playoff berth. They can catch the Cubs. They can catch the Dodgers. But first things first, get that win tomorrow, throw up that dub, and celebrate another playoff berth. A long season, a marathon, so many things happening. The injuries, the moves that Preller made at the deadline, the slumps, all the things that factored in this season. A win tomorrow, you make the playoffs. And man, oh man, that is exciting, is it not? Very, very happy to provide that news for you. Don't forget, right after the YouTube show, we upload, you download Apple, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, of course, Roku as well. Over-the-top television, we are free. And there, Brewers coming in tomorrow, Peralta and I think Pivetta, and that will be a 6:40 first pitch. We'll be here live right after the game. I really feel like this is going to be a big day tomorrow. Big week for the Padres. Maybe they catch the Cubs. Maybe they catch the Dodgers. We'll have everything for you after every game. And, of course, Javier Reyes with Locked On Padres podcast will be here every day as well. This is money time, baby. It is money time. Thank you for being here. Thanks to all the sponsors who make this such a great show to do day in and day out. So much fun with your Padres postcasts. And if the podcast and the postcast with the Padres aren't enough for you and you're a junkie like me, yeah, baby. Locked On MLB Game Night. Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts, and you get national breakdowns on a local scale, and you get every game every night until a champion is crowned and someone's holding up that World Series trophy. 3-2 Padres. They beat the White Sox, win the series 2-1. They clinch a playoff berth with a win tomorrow. Michael King, good, not great. 5 scoreless innings. Morejon, fantastic. Peralta, amazing. Susrez was great, got save number 40. Miller made it interesting today, but got the hold, and what a win for the Padres. 1 game away from the postseason. Until tomorrow, my Padre fan, love that you guys are so loyal and you're here every single day. Thank you for being the best part of this job and this network. But until tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, you're only a day away. Jim Grieshaber, call me Gries, Gries, reminding you to always keep your game tight and your mind right, baby. Let's go to the playoffs. I'm out.